You feel like you ain't talking. And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Odie and I were just discussing, have you ever been in a place and go to pay for something and you reach down and your wallet is not there? And then there's 25 people behind you wanting to check out and you go, oh, my wallet's on the truck seat. Hang on, I'll be right back. It's embarrassing. It happened poor Odie last night trying to buy some cranberry sauce. It happens to all of us. I've done it. I've gotten to town and then somehow or another didn't put my money, my cash in my wallet, and I'd have just a credit card. And you're like, oh, or somebody borrowed it at home. We've all been there. It is Thanksgiving. How are you? Oh, what a great day it is. Time for friends and family to get together. And always remember this. If you got somebody near you that lives alone, invite them over. Add another chair to that table there today. Take care of those. I'm waiting for more information. I don't have a lot about this, and I'll ask Odie. We had a fire yesterday off of Old 8th Street Road. I've been contacted by the family. I know he's a veteran that is disabled, and a granddaughter that's 5 years old that lived there. They need some help. We're going to get some sizes, and at this point, until insurance and everything, they have no way of really getting along. They're at a hotel. I think the American Red Cross has helped them out to get to a hotel. As I learn more, we'll pass along more information on that. Just a shirt or two or anything that you could help them out with to get a meal. We'll get some information on that as it comes about. Well, it is Thanksgiving morning. Let's get a good word as we are thankful, without a doubt, for everything that we're blessed with. Each of us are probably more blessed than we deserve, aren't we? Let's go to Collinsville to the First Baptist Church.
If you've watched our Change Begins in You series long enough, if you've listened to me, which God bless you if you have, you know at this point I love a good sports analogy. So buckle up, here comes another one. As a Mississippi State fan, I've come to grips with a few things. And look, one of them is this. In football, I can go ahead and know that State is not going to beat Alabama. Not only that, but the chances are high that it's not even going to be close. I've come to terms with it, and I'm at peace with it. And look, I would be foolish, given the recent history and what I know, to think those teams are even close to the same level. People would think I'm insane if I went around saying, especially this season, hey, MSU is going to beat Alabama. But did you know the same can be said for Satan, the devil, and God? Oftentimes, I think the world thinks of Satan as this ultimate evil and God is this ultimate form of good and that they're on equal footing. But the thing is, if we put them on a balanced scale, they would not be equal. It's not so. Romans 16:20 tells us that God has and will again crush Satan. It isn't even close. Look, Satan is on a leash and he can only go where God's divine purpose allows. And look, Satan's much smarter, more powerful, and crafty than you or me. We need not try to fight the forces of darkness with and in our own power. But against God, Satan doesn't stand a chance. He and all of hell thought they had won when Jesus died. But what do we know? He rose from the grave, and Satan was and is silenced. You know what else? Jesus is coming again, and that'll be the final nail in Satan's coffin. Don't believe the lie that Satan is equal in power to God. Live in the power that God has over Satan and really all of creation. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, Mouty Cabinetry, and Parker Marketing Insurance Advisors. And welcome back. Your friend Scotty Ray. Somebody just asked, was there injuries in the wreck on Highway 19 South yesterday afternoon? It looked worse than it was. No injuries involved with that, but the car was crushed bad. There was diesel fuel everywhere. We'll talk about it. No one was injured, though. That is what is good. Now, did it shake somebody up and they probably don't feel too good this morning? Probably, but no hospital visits or anything like that, so God blessed it. That is it. Well, so many of you saying good morning and happy Thanksgiving. We welcome each and one of you. A day that we all need to get along, even if their turkey is dry. Y'all know that's going to happen. There's going to be a turkey somewhere that isn't quite moist enough. Oh, just tough it out, eat it. It'll be okay. And it's an art. I don't care where you go. There's an art to dressing. If you have dry dressing, it's horrible. I don't know if anybody's ever told you that. It's got to be moist, doesn't it, Odie?
You can't overcook
You
dressing.
can't overcook it. That's the word for it. It is a true art. And so many of you are such great cooks. As we start looking at headlines this morning, we do start out at 36. It's cold outside. We'll get to high of about 58. Details on the weather up and coming. Cuba Gooding Jr. Do y'all remember him? I think he was in A Few Good Men. And Odie reminded me he was in a TV show, a movie rather called Radio, if y'all remember that. He has been sued by two women. Now, I think the same two women sued him in a different case, and there's no jail time. Now I think they're going after some money. But after you really read the details of this case, this was 5 years ago. I think, truthfully, I think it could have been settled with a, I'm sorry. It's not like the man done horrible things. It was a kiss and maybe a brush or something, but I don't know. Sure seems like it's gotten way out of hand in a court system. And again, I wasn't there, but too many times I think we end up in a court of law over something that could have just been handled with an I'm sorry, it'll never happen again. It's my 2 cents on that. The best they could come up with today was, well, be nice. What am I referring to? They're saying that more Americans are hitting the skies and roadways than in a long time. They're saying be nice and be courteous to others as we all travel and try to get to places. So keep that in mind. That's coming from national government there. What do you do when your wife doesn't put the water in your coffee? I mean, I guess you could open your mouth and pay for it for the next 10 years, or you could get up and do it yourself. But no, sirree, Bob, we go to Florida where he had a pack of Oreo cookies and he just slung them at her. hit her upside the head with the pack of Oreos. She done called the law on her husband. They've been married forever, but don't be chunking Oreos at your wife.
Was it double?
I mean, you really can't make these things up. Would you call the cops on Amy if she threw some Oreo cookies at you?
No, I'd laugh at her.
You'd laugh. I would too. I'm pretty sure Angie's thrown something at me through the years. I don't remember what it was, but it's bound to happen. The things that Americans do behind closed doors. And if you think that's something, you should hear what goes on behind closed doors in Meridian, Mississippi. It's always something. You done what? Ooh, let's see. They're already putting it out. Be cautious. COVID, flu, things like that could happen over the holidays, starting with today because, well, you hadn't been around a whole lot of people. Just somebody sniffling. Wash your hands. Do the best you can. And you can't eat turkey with a mask on. I just want to go ahead and point that out. I see you at red lights with it on and nobody in the car. You're not going to catch anything from yourself in the car. Just
Ding, ding, ding. They don't work.
ding, ding. They don't. If you remember at the beginning of the pandemic, and I can't remember the guy that was over everything at that point in time. He had a Navy suit on and he said, they don't work. 2 weeks later, they came back and said, well, yes, it does. And he was going, no, they made you wear them, but no, they really don't work. Just my 2 cents there. Now, they're changing their story of what we got broken yesterday at the border. Do y'all remember that? The Canadian border, to where they said it was a terrorist attack? Here's where I guess I think differently. They're saying that this was not a terror attack. They think it was a medical condition. Okay? But they have no idea who was in the car. They can't identify the bodies. So how could you determine that it was a medical emergency if you can't identify the remains yet? I'm just using some Southern thoughts here. I know you have cameras, but I don't know the answer. There needs to be a lot more investigation, as Odie puts out. We don't know they were incinerated. The car blew up. It was pretty bad. But how do you know one thing and can't tell me the others? I'm just adding two and two together. Y'all are smart folks. Y'all know these things. Hundreds are told to evacuate from Kentucky, a small town there. A 16-car chemical train derailed yesterday, spilling molten sulfur. Sulfur dioxide was released in the neighborhood there. Rural Kentucky, they've had to go out. Reminds me of the movie, what was he in there? Fire Down Below. Wasn't that what it was?
Yep.
That was a good Steven Seagal. Rural Kentucky. Beautiful land. Axl Rose, and this goes back to the Cuba Gooding Jr. story. Now, I sometimes can be told to go get a loaf of bread, and I come home with hot dog buns. I'm not going to lie, I sometimes do that. And I go, well, isn't that what you said? Axl Rose, what all did they sing? Wasn't they the behind an old sign that said Jesus says, "Give me something to believe in"? Is that it? Did they sing that?
Yeah, I believe they sang, yeah.
But he's being sued from 1989, where this woman claims he dragged her like a caveman across the street. Why wait till now? How come something wasn't done back in 1989? There has to be a limit on when people can come back, like the Joe Namath thing that they brought up a few weeks ago from the 1970s. Kavanaugh, you remember that? They tried to bring that back from what year was that? There has to be a limit.
He had his calendar.
Yeah, is this the Me Too movement? What is it? I don't know. People trying to cash in? I'm not real sure, but that's a long, long time ago when we have trouble remembering, well, just a few hours ago what we were going to pick up. All I'm saying, that sweet child of mine, Bob McNeese says. There you go. I remember that, sweet child of mine. It's just questions that make you ponder here as we look at this. Health emergency is being declared in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Have you heard about this? Saying the drinking water is not all that great, although they say it's 100 times safer than what's here sometimes. The toxic metal. Toxic metal is what they're saying. I don't know the answers to these things. They're going to be putting bottled water there also. Was it Michigan a few years ago that had all the trouble with the water? Flint, Michigan. That's where it was. Old lead pipes. Older homes have them. And, of course, there are a few cities left that still have those there that they haven't been replaced through the years. A volcano is getting ready to erupt, and it's in Iceland. They said that it'll spew the lava. It could happen at any given time. They're watching this. Woo! But they're saying it's imminent. It's going to happen. Almost 4,000 people have been evacuated from the coastal town, if I can pronounce this correctly, Granvik. So they're clearing out there. Volcanoes scare me. What was it? I was a kid. Mount St. Helens. Anybody remember that? Seems like it was around 1980. I was 10 years old or so. That did happen here in the States. Now, I'm totally against this. I don't know how you feel, as we've seen so many IRS agents hired, sent into service. They've given them guns and lots of ammunition, and they're IRS agents. If you'll remember, they were trying to pass this little thing, if you make a sale of $600, like if you have an app and somebody sends you $600, or you sell something that was in your closet to a neighbor, $600, you'll have to start paying taxes on that. They're going to postpone that another year. It will not be on this tax season. Be ready. Uncle Sam is after every dollar they can get. I don't agree with it. There's a lot of taxes that I don't agree with. Folks, we are taxed beyond taxed. You get your paycheck, they take out a tax on that. You go to the grocery store, you're taxed again. You buy gas, you're taxed. If you've got a little left over, those who have a smoke, you're taxed there. You go to a parts store, you're taxed again. Then you got to buy insurance for all of this. How does the American public get by? Tax and more tax, and let's not forget about our local taxes when they tax your land. Do we actually own anything? You know, in Canada, you don't own anything. You pay taxes on land to stay there. I really think it's that way in the U.S. You may buy and pay something, but you never own it because they will take it from you if you don't pay that large amount of tax each year.
Is this used as collateral for
Yeah, and we should be getting ours in the mail any day now, shouldn't we? Land taxes, and your home tax, all that should be coming. I need to see if mine has gone up any from last year.
No, we've already got it.
We have? Okay, my wife just has not informed me that has arrived in the mail.
I got it the same day with the trash.
Oh, the trash can, we went up $68 on trash. I forgot about that. I bet you didn't. Can't buy a car tag. You can't do a lot of things. You don't pay that garbage fee. I think that's becoming a standard everywhere. If you don't pay for that, you can't get your car tag. My, oh my, oh my. Some say it's better than the green dumpster. What do you say? I guess it's cleaner. There's not as much because people were real bad about just dumping.
The abuse of it.
It's abuse. Yeah, the abuse from out of county. You're right. But it's still another $68. That's nearly double. It's 3/4 of where it was. Just something to think on. Taxes get you in an ill mood on Thanksgiving Day. Boy, I had to open up that can of worms, didn't I? Target under fire. Things like this do bother me because Christmas is, for the large part, about kids. Let me. This is what's at Target. Let me just show you a picture, and I won't even say anything. I'll let you see the picture and you look at this of Santa Claus. Again, this is Target, and this comes from the folks at Daily Mail that posted the story on this. There's Santa. Target getting a little backlash over this. What say you? Here's another picture of the. It's almost like someone's trying to put their beliefs upon you, kind of force it from a store. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be. It just doesn't seem what America was built on. But again, I could be wrong on that. But that's what's there. Looks like we're going to have isn't it today the Macy's Day Parade? Isn't it the big thing for Thanksgiving?
About 2 hours.
About 2 hours. They're being accused, Macy's, of course, they got that big store, about how they hire. They're saying that the straight guy, the white straight guy, is not having a chance at getting hired anymore at Macy's. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But that's the headlines as we get ready for that big parade of who they hire. It is just strange, the hiring practices that were set up, laws that would protect everybody, where you got an equal shot at being hired at any business, and how things have changed over the last 3 years. I think it's been since that last election, things have really changed on the outlook of America and how people get interviewed. I don't understand it sometimes. It's America, the land of the free. If you're qualified for the job, it doesn't matter who you are, what you believe in, you should get the job. I thoroughly believe that. If you're qualified, you get the job. Not by our skin color, where we go to church, what we believe in. Is can you do the job? Trust me, there's jobs that need people that are skilled. I think most people agree with that. One of the first that comes to mind is an airplane pilot. Boy, I want the absolute best of that guy sitting up there. I don't want anybody that cheated on a test and took the shortcut on that job, do you? And when you look at it that way, it really falls in every job. Hank Jr. many years ago, and I will not say the name of the song because somebody would take it offensive, it was Give a Blank. Give a blank about your job. Don't you let the devil rob. Take pride in anything that you sign your name to. Something to think on as we celebrate Thanksgiving and should be happy today. Oh, I still believe in the American dream and God-fearing people. I do. It's what's made me what I am. We'll be right back as we look at the forecast this morning. Let's put a smile on. Let's make this together. We'll be right back with more. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built-in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. Have you seen the selection of cars and trucks at Massey's Supermart Auto Sales lately? How about a Grand Cherokee Jeep 4x4 Limited? They've got that in white and also gray. They have a like new 2021 Wrangler Unlimited 4x4. Or maybe your family needs room. Have you checked out the Ford Expedition lately? 1023 Highway 39 Bypass, Massey's Supermart Auto Sales.
The low profit dealer, Massey's Supermart.
And welcome back as a chilly morning is upon us. 36 degrees right now as you're waking up. Brr! Now, we'll get to 58, but expect some gusts. Not a great day to be burning anything. I know that we've gotten out of the burn ban here in Lauderdale County, but keep that in mind. I still got to burn my boxes in a pile of wood. My shop is overflown with it. Not overfilled, not overflown. What am I thinking? I get tongue-tied this early without 3 cups of coffee. Let's get into our forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Let's start with radar because we do have some serious fog going on in the western part of the state. Let's go over to Vicksburg. Let me pull this up where you can see this. If you've got to travel west for any reason this morning, here's what you're facing as you go west here into Monroe, Vicksburg, and these areas. This is going to start around Jackson, that I-55 corridor. When you go through there near the stack, gets kind of bad, kind of hard to see, and they can't drive over there. I hate to talk about fellow Mississippians, but they don't know what they're doing in Jackson. So be careful if you kind of go that direction toward Vicksburg, cross that big bridge there. You get into to Tallulah. Almost got tongue-tied there. It gets real thick there down in Louisiana. So be careful in those areas there. That's what's happening as we look at radar across the great state of Mississippi, Alabama, and the deep south there. Now, let's get further into this forecast and see what's happening today. As we go back and look at our record highs, it was 04 that we got up and sweated on this day. 81 it was. 1956, if you were around, remember that when the Chevrolet came out, it was cold. 19 back in 1956. Burr. Justin Watt, where are you? Got one of the most prettiest 56 Chevrolets I've seen around. If y'all hadn't seen his car, see it at a car show. I like it. Rain is out of the forecast. We have clouds. I didn't change the part there. My apologies. We'll see 59 at best. 58 in most places as we go through Philadelphia and Knox, Pater, make it to 57 at Columbus Air Force Base and over to Mississippi State. Over in the Delta land, we'll see 59 down through Vicksburg and Hattiesburg, about the same. East into Bama, as we look at there, not much difference there. 56 in Birmingham, a cool spot there. We'll even get to 57 at Auburn and, well, 58 around Demopolis and even into Livingston, Alabama. Now, this is what we're looking at over the next 10 days. Cool front, look at that. We're going to see highs in the 50s mainly for the next, say, 6 to 10 days. Normal weather there and a little bit above average in the northern portion of California. Nothing major even up to Washington State, but cool here throughout the south as we look at our 7-day forecast now. 59, we'll get down to 41 tonight as you get ready for Black Friday tomorrow. If you're heading out, you still want to wear a little jacket there. 41, that's cold for me. My teeth were chattering yesterday afternoon standing around with Odie and them out at a car wreck. I get cold with wind. We'll get to 62 tomorrow, that high, but look what happened Saturday morning when you get up 37 again, kind of like this morning. As we go to church on Sunday morning, we'll get to 61, but we do have a 40% chance of showers. That's our biggest chance over the next few days as it'll drop to a 10% as we go back to work on Monday with highs in the 50s. Look at that. Cooler. Now let's go another week into December and see what comes about. 60s is what we'll see. Not getting much more than 64, 65 at best. So that gives us some fall-like weather as we break into December. No, there's no snow, is it? Y'all don't expect a snowy day on Christmas Day. I don't think that will happen again. That's all the way through December 7th, a day that will, well, what did he say? That will live in infamy. It is. Y'all remember that. What's happening with the fishing today? Well, Chet tells us to grab that rod and reel if you want to go fishing this morning before all the kinfolk arrive. 7:30 is the time to be there. You can fish till about 9:30. That's going to be pretty good if you love to do it. And again, the wind's going to be becoming north around 5 miles an hour today. As we head to the woods, if you got to go, be out there this morning by 7:40. You can hunt till about 10, be back to the house by 10:45, and you won't get in trouble. Little hunting. It used to be a tradition to go on Thanksgiving Day after the big meal. Some of you still do that. Enjoy it. Take a kid hunting. You'll have a lot of fun there. Let's look at our hunting and fishing calendar as we do that. Big thank you to everybody that helps out with that. We are roughly about 5 minutes away from going back live with the morning show. Odie's in. We've got some special guests. We'll tell you about some Black Friday deals that's going to be happening. All on the way here at the Scotty Ray Report. Y'all don't rush off. We'll be right back with the latest local headlines and all that good stuff.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.